Hey guys, it's Mr. Schmidt here, and in this video we're going to talk about interest rates. So in 14-1, we talked briefly about interest rates, and we've hit on interest rates in the past as well, and I just want to kind of double down on it here very briefly. So first of all, an interest rate, generally speaking, is the price of borrowing money, right? When lenders lend money, they expect a return on top of the money that they're going to get back from whoever borrowed the money. And so we can categorize interest rates based on whether they're adjusted or not adjusted for inflation. The nominal interest rate is the price of borrowing money not adjusted for inflation. And the way I remember that is that there is the word NO in nominal, and it's also not. So no, not adjusted. The real interest rate is the price of borrowing money that is adjusted for inflation. And if you're a lender, this is really the interest rate you care about, right? You want to know, what am I actually going to get as a rate of return on my investment by lending out this money to somebody, right? Not what I'm going to tell the person, right? So when you go into the bank, it's the nominal interest rate that gets reported, right? It's that interest rate that gets reported to you as what you're going to pay back. But in the mind of the banker, the lender, they want to know what their real rate of return is going to be, and that's why they want to know the real interest rate. They also want to know the expected inflation rate, which is the percentage increase in inflation people expect to occur in the future. In other words, as a lender, I'm going to be thinking about, okay, I know what the rate of return I want. If I add on top of that the inflation that I think is going to happen, that's the interest rate I'm going to tell people. Because once inflation does its magic and reduces the value of the nominal interest rate, I'm going to be left with the rate of return I wanted. And that's where we get into what's called the EARN formula. Capital E, capital R, capital N. The EARN formula is very, very useful as a lender to be thinking about, okay, how much should I charge for an interest rate? Remember, that's the nominal interest rate, what's going to be charged to the person. So when inflation occurs, I'm left with what I want. So the way to think about the EARN formula is this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your expected inflation rate, I'm going to abbreviate here, inflation rate, and then if you add that to the real interest rate, what you get is the nominal interest rate. So what lenders do is they say, okay, if I actually want a 2% return, okay, I really want 2% interest, okay, that's what I want to be left with at the end of the day. That's what I want to take home on top of the money that's going to be returned to me. And I know, reading news reports, whatever, that I think inflation's going to be 3%. So what I'm going to charge the borrower is actually 5%. Because when inflation happens, it's going to reduce that 5% down to the 2% I wanted all along. So basically, you have to as a lender, you have to make the interest rate you charge to people higher than what you might do otherwise, in order so that when inflation happens and reduces the value of the money you get back. Remember, inflation hurts lenders. When that money comes back to you, you're still going to get the rate of return you wanted. So that's the lesson as a lender, is charge a nominal interest rate that is higher to the extent that when that inflation occurs, you actually end up with what you want. And that puts a lot of pressure on getting this right. You know, that puts a lot of pressure on you to make sure you know what you think inflation is going to be. Because if you're wrong, you could end up charging someone a lot more than what you might have had to otherwise, right? Because the higher the nominal interest rate, the less people want to borrow from you, right? So you don't want to charge too high of an interest rate and then people not borrow from you and you can't make any money off them as a lender. So this formula is very, very useful. I call it the EARN formula because it's about how much lenders want to earn off of borrowing money. So this formula can be very, very helpful and will definitely appear on the AP exam. So that's all for this video on interest rates. Until next time, have a great day.